As you know, on this channel, I'm keeping it real with you. Not keeping it real in the sense that I just dump everything I have on my mind and it's your fault how it affects you. No. I'm keeping it real because I say things as they are in a constructive way. Listen, if you had parents who never taught you to question people's expectations, then you were not raised properly. Why? Because in life you need to question people's expectations when there are signs that what they expect from you doesn't add up. Many people were raised to just give in to the expectations of society. That's what they call politeness. That's what they call having manners. And many of you grew up wanting to be praised for having manners and being polite. And when you were older, you began to expect the same things from other people. And now you were the one becoming annoyed and upset with people for not giving in to the rules of society. But then later in life also you find yourself being exploited, being abused, and being taken advantage of. And then when the symptoms of that appears, people tell you enforce boundaries, be controlling of others. And now you are the one coming with expectations of others, so-called out of self-protection, that you often can't account for. And when all those things catch up with you, now you make excuses for yourself. Just like your parents did, and their parents before them, and society around them. So the cycle continues. Listen to what I'm saying here. If someone has one-sided expectations of you that they cannot account for, and they also feel entitled to escalate against you, whether verbally or physically, that is witchcraft. And worldly women are very fond of doing this, unless they are restrained by the community. There are a lot of women doing this with their husbands. There are women doing this to their sons, or to the other male figures in their lives, because they never healed from their daddy issues, or simply because they don't want to self-reflect and they don't want to be a contributing factor to the community. Listen, nobody out there is entitled to form one-sided expectations of you without any account for it. Look, if you are driving like crazy on the road, then people have a right to demand you to be considerate. If you're walking in a supermarket, people have a right to demand you to walk in a considerable speed, so don't run in the supermarket. If you are living in a flat complex, people have a right to demand you to remain quiet or to lower your voice during the night. So people can expect things from you. People can demand your cooperation when their expectations are justified. But when someone responds in a very angry or intense way towards you because you didn't give them what they want, or because they're upset with you but they cannot justify their expectations, that's just violence. It's violence. Even if they don't lay any hands on you, the fact that they emotionally charge you with anger and with their heaviness, that is violence. Straight up. And when you look at those people, they wouldn't dare to do that to just any individual out there. Because some people, when you do that to them, they turn on you physically. So they don't do that, but they did it with you. Why? Because they saw an opportunity to get away with it. That's why. And some of you had parents doing this to you. I don't care if your parent did 100 good things for you. If they insisted in this effective way of behaving, then that's narcissistic. I'm not saying they're full narcissists. No, because I don't know your parents, but if you had parents, despite of all the other good things they did for you, they persist in this defective behavior of escalating against you just because you didn't validate their expectations, that is parental witchcraft. And look at this. Because you were subjected to parental witchcraft, when you became older, now, instead of having a parent that was bewitching you, now it became society. Or it became the government. Or it became your employer at work. So you keep on looking for this figure to be with you, and you're not even aware of it. Listen, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be grateful for the good things your parents did, absolutely. But if your parents were out of their mind, at least admit as an adult that they were out of their mind and process it. And also take actions properly to keep them at a safe distance from you and your own family. If they were reprobated out of mind, then absolutely keep yourself and your family away from them, because then they're dangerous. If your parents refuse to go into therapy, they refuse to self-reflect, they refuse to even admit that they were defective, then I recommend you absolutely keep them at a distance so that you can heal and recover. Because sometimes parents want to sabotage you to punish you for your own defects. That happens too. No parent anywhere is entitled to be resentful of their children. No parent anywhere is entitled to harm and abuse and violate their own children, their own offspring. No, they don't. So don't let anyone convince you that they do. And if you have an environment who saw how messed up your parents were and they did not intervene, then they are guilty too. They were in on it too. And often those same people were in on it. They know very well what they allowed to happen to you, but they don't want to feel guilty for what they allowed to happen to you, so they'll try to blame you for it, just so that they can feel at ease. You should blame the community when the community is to blame, but don't hang at blaming them. You blame them because they are to blame, but don't think it's just by blaming them that you'll heal. No. Look for healing. The only responsibility you have is to heal. Because it's the only thing you can do. You can't change the past and you can't change those other people. Let me repeat that. You can't change the past and you can't change those people. The only thing you can do is look for better. That's what you should do. But also recognize when it's not you that is to blame. I'm telling you, unlearn this stupid thinking that just because the group or some figure that's assigned authority expects something, that you're naturally entitled to just make them happy. What about you? Where's you in the picture? Excluding yourself at your own detriment is not holiness. That's not humility. That's cowardice, and in some cases it's even criminal. Listen, not all parents are good people. They're also scumbags and, well, low-life bums who also have babies. And unfortunately, they end up raising those babies. Now, I don't know what type of quality your parents were. If they just had defects, admit they had defects. If they were dangerous, admit they were dangerous. Just process realistically what they were and how they are today. For your own safety, for your own healing, and for the safety of those around you. Parental witchcraft is a type of witchcraft that's endorsed by society. And it's even endorsed by many churches. But the consequences are very detrimental. Listen, I'm going to repeat it one more time. Just because a man had sex with a woman and she became pregnant does not entitle that man to later violate that life after the life is born. Just because a woman became pregnant and she gave birth to a baby doesn't entitle her to harm that human being after she gave birth to the human being. Look, parental witchcraft is parental witchcraft. Okay? And it's not right and it's never justified. Forgive and process. But don't forget and don't be fooled. Be at peace.